midterms are coming up, and one candidate who is running for Congress in Arizona is now joining us here, Daniel Keenan from the great state, great 48 of Arizona, the 5th Congressional District. Daniel, how are you?
I'm good, Jack. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here with you.
Well, I appreciate it. I'll get you in on news of the day there. What do you think of President Trump's recent moves to try to pacify this horrific crime going on in American cities?
Well, look, I just got back from Washington, D.C., and it's been about 4 weeks or so since I've been there. And I tell you what, it was a breath of fresh air to see the city clean. It felt safe. And we've even seen liberal mayors highlighting the great work he's done. I commend President Trump for taking a stand and fighting against these liberal policies we've seen really just uh, be so catastrophic to our great cities in America. And the people, they want it. They're tired of the lawlessness. They're tired of repeat offenders getting out on bail for heinous crimes. And again, just commend President Trump on taking this fight head on.
Well, and tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit about why is it that you decided to put the hat on and throw it in the ring for the 5th Congressional District.
Yeah, so of course, there's many reasons. I first thought about it in 2020 when I saw our rights being stripped away, and particularly a lot of garbage in my kids' school that I didn't agree with. But the main reason is, look, I feel like there's not enough members of Congress that are doing their job. They're going to Washington for all the wrong reasons, and we're sending them there to pass the agenda of the president that we voted for. So, when, of course, Andy Biggs announced he was running for governor, I did not want to see our district fall into the hands of some sort of rhino or squishy Republican. It needs to follow in Andy Biggs' footstep with the great leadership he's done, and I want to do just that.
Well, Andy Biggs absolutely is a rock-ribbed patriot, and so hopefully we can do what we can to get the patriots out there as well. Now, obviously, in a case like this, you're going to have a lot of people running. Tell us about your background and what you were doing prior to this. You're not one of those other career politicians, are you?
No, Jack, I'm not. I'm not a career politician, and like the special someone on Pennsylvania Avenue who we love so much, President Trump was not a career politician. So some folks may look down upon that, but I think it's one of my greatest strengths. I'm not bought and paid for by anybody, and I don't owe anyone any favors. So, prior to entering the world of politics, I'm a home builder. I'm a job creator. I'm a father. I'm a Christian. I grew up in a hardworking blue collar family. My parents taught me, of course, how to work hard, the value of a dollar, love your family, love your country, and follow in Jesus Christ.
No, I love that. But so home building, talk to me about what you've seen, obviously, in terms of that industry with the rise of illegal alien workers.
Well, particularly in Arizona, it's been a problem for a long time. Of course, it's a border state, and I always give the analogy. When I was growing up, learning the trade, one of my first jobs was a framer. That's what I know first. And in the beginning, all of our framing crews and most of all our crews was all Americans, hardworking Americans, and slowly you saw it slip away to illegal immigration. I'm proud that I have known most of my workforce for many years. As my father was a home builder as well, so generations of building is passed down, and just the open border policies have just wreaked havoc. Really, I mean, they're undercutting American workers, putting small businesses, and it's not just in home building; it's all small businesses. When you have someone coming in saying, "Hey, I'll do the job for half the cost," and they have some sort of proof that they are here legally, it's putting small businesses in a bind. But what we've seen recently is great work by Tom Homan, of course, and President Trump of sealing up this border and making sure Americans are getting these jobs first and foremost.
Well, and when it comes to the housing industry as well, this is constantly cited by Gen Z and millennials as being a huge issue for them. And of course, they turn to government and say, "Oh, well, I want the government to make houses cheaper or put up, more affordable housing." But I always turn around and say, "Well, what about the massive influx of illegals that are taking up housing and also the regulations that are preventing new housing?" That is would be a great way to reduce not only vacancy rates but also lower the price.
Absolutely, Jack, you're right. So depending on what statistic you look at, there's a shortage of 4 to 7 million homes in America. Last time I checked, under the Biden administration, roughly 20 million illegals came in. That's just what we know about. So those illegals are staying somewhere. So if we can continue speeding up the deportations of illegal aliens, and put Americans first and getting them in to homes, that'll help. As you know, I'm a home builder, so there's nobody in my race who's going to be as equipped as me on day one to take on that fight. It's one of my biggest topics. I want to help make home affordability again for working class families and for young Americans.